أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله تعالى نحمده ونستعينه ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له واشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له واشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله الله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله ولو كره المشركون. وقال سيدنا مصطفى صلى الله عليه وسلم إن أصدق حديث كتاب الله وخير هدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وأن شر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. أما بعد فيقول الله تبارك وتعالى وإذ أخذ ربك من بني آدم من ظهورهم ذريتهم وأشهدهم على أنفسهم ألست بربكم قالوا بلى شهدنا أن تقولوا يوم القيامة إنا كنا عن هذا غافلين. Brothers and sisters in Islam, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And my advice is to have taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's really all khutbah is wrapped around. Thina Allah and al-haq bil taqwa Allah. Praising Allah and giving advice about having taqwa of Allah. Imam Shafi'i said that if you get up to do the khutbah, you say Alhamdulillah, ittaqillah, you've done the khutbah. But Alhamdulillah, we have a little bit more time to talk about more things in the khutbah. The Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam used to center, and this is the tradition of Islam, to center khutbah, sermons around explaining verses in Quran. Explaining hadith, but more explaining verses in Quran, explaining what Allah means, what He says, different things. People have learned entire surah from khutbah on Jum'ah. I was talking about this contractual obligation between Muslims and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? I look at our whole religion as a contract. It's a contract between me and Allah. Every step of the way is a contract. Even when I get in my car and I drive, even before that, when I leave my house, I know that it's sunnah to say, Bismillah, tawakkaltu ala Allah, wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. That's the sunnah. To me, that's a small part of my own contract with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If I eat food, contractually, I'm obligated to eat Bismillah. Right? It's the sunnah to say Bismillah when you eat. Even if you forget, it's the sunnah to say Bismillah fi awwalihi wa akhirihi. It's sunnah to say Bismillah in the beginning and the end. It's still, so I look at it as a contract. Everything about a religion is contractual. Now, that's just not me saying that. Just saying that if we look at our religion in terms of contractual obligation, we can see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has a whole lot of contracts between Him and between us, between Him and between people, even starting from before people were born, like Allah mentions in the verse, وَإِذْ أَخَذَ رَبُّكَ مِنْ بَنِي آدَمَ مِنْ ظُهُورِهِمْ. Verily, when your Lord took from Bani Adam, when He extracted from the children of Adam all of their, from their, He extracted them from the back, the loins of Adam, and lined them all up. ذريتهم. He extracted his progeny. ذريته وأشهدهم على أنفسهم, and He caused them to bear witness on themselves. Alastu birabbikum. Am I not your Lord? And this is played out that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he created Adam, he extracted from Adam alayhi salam all of the progeny, everybody who's going to live on the earth. وَأَشْهَدَهُمْ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ. And he just caused them to bear witness on themselves. أَلَسْتُ بِرَبِّكُمْ. Am I not your Lord? And they all said, بَلَا شَهِدْنَا. Yes, we bear witness. Because every soul has bear witness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his oneness. In fact, the word kufr in Arabic, it doesn't mean rejection. Takdhib means rejection. Yakfur doesn't mean that you reject something. It means you fail to acknowledge something, that you cover up something. Yukadhib means to reject. Takdhib, rejection. Kufr means to cover. That's why in Islam, in our theology, we have two types of kufr. We have kufr billahi ta'ala and kufr bil-ni'am. Kufr billah is that you fail to acknowledge Allah. You know, your soul knows Allah exists. That's why people who say they're atheists, when they're about to die, oh God, please help me. But you fail to acknowledge Him. Well, kufr bil-ni'am is that you fail to acknowledge the good that Allah has done. But that's another topic. He extracted them. وَأَشْهَدُهُمْ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ أَلَسْتُ بِرَبِّكُمْ. Am I not your Lord? قَالُوا بَلَا شَهِدْنَا. And they said, yes, we bear witness. And Allah said then, أَن تَقُولُوا يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ كُنَّا عَنْ هَذَا غَافِلِينَ. And here, أَن تَقُول means أَن لَا تَقُول. This is an Arabic point. He says, so they won't say on the day of judgment, we knew nothing about that. So what Allah is saying here is that regardless of whether or not a person got the message about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala during their time on earth, they got the message about God, He put their primal understanding about God in every soul, so that on the day of judgment, they cannot say, I didn't even know there was a God. I had no idea. Okay? This is the beginning of contractual obligation between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the creation. Now, in Islam, we have a whole bunch of contractual obligations between us and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For example, the Prophet in the Sahih Hadith, he said, Al-ahadu. Ahad means contract. Al-ahadu alladhi baynana وَبَيْنَهُمْ الصَّلَاةِ وَمَنْ تَرَكَهَا فَقَدْ كَفَرَ. He says that the contractual difference between us and them, meaning non-Muslims, is the salat, is the prayer. Whoever abandons the prayer, he has rejected faith, because it's a contractual obligation. If you're a Muslim, well, you have to pray. Not only that, if you're a Muslim, you have to give sadaqah. That's also a contractual obligation on Muslims. It's contract. When time comes to pay sadaqah, then it's not like, well, it's not a arbitrary choice. It's a choice that if you have it, you have to pay on it. That's contractual. Enjoining good, forbidding evil is a contractual obligation on the ummah. وَلْتَكُمْ مِنْكُمْ أُمَّةٌ يَدْعُونَ إِلَى الْخَيْرِ وَيَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَيَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ. Allah says, let there be from amongst you a group of people يَدْعُونَ إِلَى الْخَيْرِ, who call to good, وَيَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ, and they enjoin the good, and they forbid the evil. Now, most ulama says contractually, this means that amongst the Muslim people, there has to be some people who are enjoining good and forbidding evil. Just like amongst the Muslim people, there have to be some people who are teaching their religion. There have to be somebody who leads the prayer. That's a contractual obligation that you have an imam to lead the salat. You can't say we have salat and nobody's leading the salat. No, it don't work like that. Contractually, as a Muslim people, we have to have somebody got to lead the prayer. And when he leads the prayer, he has a contract with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to lead the prayer properly. Even certain things he can't, the Prophet said, that he can't, to ghusl nafsu. He can't pray only for himself. Contractual. When we look at issues going on in the Muslim community, because we got a lot of issues, a lot of it has to do with contractual obligations. Some of it has to do with individual contractual obligations, because individually you all have all kinds of contractual obligations. People used to like to sit on the side of the curb during the time of the Prophet ﷺ, like we like to do now. Like people hang out at malls. Well, during the time of the Prophet, they didn't have malls, but they had places in public thoroughfares where people used to like to sit down and talk. They sit on the corner and talk. And the Prophet said, "Iyakum wa julus fi turqat." He says, "I warn you from sitting on the roads." He said, but they said, "Ya Rasulullah, we like to sit on the road to talk and socialize." He said, "But if you insist on sitting on the roads, ala wa in abaytum, if you insist, fa'tu tariqa haqqa, then give the road its due." Because it becomes a contract. Okay, I want to sit on the road. Okay. The Prophet said that's not a good thing. But okay, you insist on doing it. You want to do it. And they said, what is the haqq of the road, Ya Rasulullah? He said, ghatul nazar, lowering the gauge. Raddus salam. Al-ifshat was salam, giving the salams back and forth. Enjoining the good, forbidding the evil. And imazat al-adha, picking up the dirt that you see on the road. These things become contractual obligations when you take on that. If you get married, you have a contract. Marriage is a contract. The woman has contractual obligations. The man has contractual obligations. The imam has contractual obligations. The ma'mun has contractual obligations. And as a group of people, we have contractual obligations. So I like to look at, when we try to talk about solutioning, because I believe in solutioning in Islam, my God, we got issues. We got a lot of good issues, but we got a lot of bad issues going on. That's just the truth. So look at them contractually. Like another verse Allah says, "Inna Allah ya'murukum an tu'addu al-amanati ila ahliha. Wa idha hakamtum bayna an-nas an nuhkumu bil-'adli." This is contract. Inna Allah ya'murukum, verily Allah commands you, an tu'addu al-amanati ila ahliha, that you fulfill the trust. You fulfill the trust to its proper recipients. Meaning, if somebody has a trust that's due to them, then you have to give them that trust. You have to give them the amana that's due to them. If it's something you're holding for them or something you have over them that you have to return to them, you have to return the amana to whoever owns that, the owner of that amana. وَإِذَا حَكَمْتُمْ بَيْنَ النَّاسِ, and if you judge between people, أَنِحْكُمُوا بِالْعَدْلِ, that you judge in fairness. Another hadith, حَقَّ الْمُسْلِمْ عَلَى مُسْلِمْ سِتْ, in Sahih Muslim. The right of the Muslim over the Muslim is 6 things. These are all contracts. إِذَا لَقِيتُهُ فَصَلِّمْ عَلَيْهِ. When you meet him, the contractual obligation here, and listen, a contractual obligation could be wajib, it could also be mustahab. It doesn't make it less of a contract. Prophet said, إِذَا لَقِيتُهُ فَسَلِّمْ عَلَيْهِ. If you meet him, run into that person, give him salams. إِذَا اسْتَنْصَحَكَ فَانْصَحْهُ. If they ask you for advice, give them advice. It's contractual. So if somebody say, Imam, I want some advice about something, I just can't say what I can say this, I don't really have the knowledge, the information. That's my advice to you. I don't really know what to tell you. I don't know about that topic that you're asking me about. I don't really have the experience or knowledge to advise you. I advise you to ask Allah or to fear Allah or to ask someone more knowledgeable than me. But if I know, I'm contractually obligated to give that person the right advice. Even the Prophet said, Ad-din an-nasiha. Qulna liman. Religion is sincere advice. We said to who? Lillahi wa li kitabihi wa li rasulihi wa li a'immatil muslimina wa li a'matihim. To Allah, to His book, to His messenger, to the imams of the Muslims, to the general. So these things are contractual. You have to look at things from a contractual obligation. Couple reasons why. One, it helps us, especially when we're dealing with each other. This is really where it gets sticky. When we're dealing with each other, not to get too personal when it comes to the administration of truth and justice. I almost said the American way too, because that's Superman. Sorry about that. So that your personal feelings, we just live in a time where everything's, it's hawa. It's your personal feelings. Hawa rules in these days. Emotionalism rules in this day and time that we live in now. It's all emotion. It's all hype. Truth is always sacrificed. Facts is always sacrificed. What gets the most likes? What gets the most press? So if we look at things from a contractual perspective, then that helps us stay focused on, you and Allah, me and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because at the end of the day, it's going to be, that's the thing. At the end of the day, it's going to be يَوْمَ يَفِرُّ مَرْءٌ مِّنْ أَخِيهِ وَأُمِّهِ وَأَبِيهِ وَصَاحِبَتِهِ وَبَنِيهِ لِكُلِّ امْرِئٍ يَوْمَئِذٍ شَأْنٌ يُغْنِيهِ. That's what's going to be the get down. يَوْمَ يَفِرُّ مَرْءٌ مِّنْ أَخِيهِ, when the day when a person will flee from his brother and his mother and his father and his female companion and his children. لِكُلِّ امْرِئٍ, every individual, يَوْمَئِذٍ شَأْنٌ يُغْنِيهِ, every individual will have his own issue that he will have to contend with, and we're talking about Yawm al-Qiyamah. So when we look at things in a contractual way, as Muslims, it helps us, especially like I said, when we're dealing with interpersonal stuff, because when we're dealing with interpersonal stuff, it helps us not to get all wrapped up in personalities, in emotions, and so on. For example, that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, لا يجرمنكم شنآن قوم ألا تعدلوا. Right? لا يجرمنكم شنآن قوم ألا تعدلوا اعدلوا هو أقرب للتقوى. He said, don't let the way that your hatred or dislike for a people stop you from being just. Be just, because that's closer to taqwa. See, so if we look at justice as part of a contractual obligation, then it's like, okay, brother, listen, man, you my man, I like you, you're my good friend. And this guy, I don't even know this guy over here. But you're wrong. And he's right. You're wrong to him. Not that, well, you're my friend, man. So, hey, brother, you know what? Sorry, nothing I can do. No, but he wronged me. That's my point. No, see, so you get into that. And so, even on bigger things, we don't have enough time in the khutbah. I'm going to talk about this topic next week too, inshallah ta'ala. But even in the bigger things, we have to look at the contractual obligation. I want you to think about the last sermon of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. Think about the last sermon. His farewell khutbah. Famous, easy to find on Google. Farewell khutbah of the Prophet. And look at how many contractual issues he mentioned in that khutbah alone. Contractual. Muslims have to really understand. Listen, I know we live in a hyped world. I know that we have problems, but we have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I want you to keep in mind that Allah is still working. He's still responding to stuff. He's doing stuff. He's punishing people. He's forgiving people. He's destroying whole nations. He's destroying Muslim nations. He's allowing a lot of Muslims to suffer. A lot of people to suffer. You know, the majority of refugees in the world right now, or people who have been displaced, are Muslims. Right? So sometimes, listen, I don't know the reasoning behind what Allah does it. I don't know. Only Allah knows. All I know is from what He tells us, from what He tells me, what He says in the Kitab, what the Prophet says. Just like we said last week, He says, وَلَنَذِيقَنَّهُمْ مِنْ عَذَابِ الْأَدْنَى دُونَ عَذَابِ الْأَكْبَرِ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْجِعُونَ. We'll give them a taste of lesser punishments in lieu of the greater punishments so they can return. So, you know, for me, even in my own life, when anything bad happens, I'm always thinking, you know, I did something I'm not doing, something I didn't do. I messed up somewhere, and it's not. I don't have to look too far. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. You know what? So halfway I'm saying, Alhamdulillah, Allah, I hope you took that sin off of me for that. And on the other half I'm saying, I got to do more of this because, you know, I always put that together. I'm not fulfilling part of the contract. Because Allah owes us nothing. He doesn't even owe us comfort. He doesn't owe us life. He owes us nothing at all. But we owe Him everything.